Welcome everyone to another video of Vinyl Addict. My name is Chili, and today this video I want to talk about obscure 70s early rock stoner music. Yes, it's I was going down the rabbit hole for finding these types of bands, and you know, it all starts off with Sabbath, of course, and the other bands like Deep Purple and Zeppelin, and then, you know, goes to Blue Cheer, and then after that it just, you know, it just kept going. I kept on going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, finding these bands like Atomic Rooster, and you know, on Spotify or YouTube, and I just want to share some of these albums, a couple of albums today, because I hear these bands, and then I, you know, on Spotify, which is really cool, and then I go hunt for them on, you know, on vinyls, hunt for the vinyl. And today the two albums I got is, one is Sir Lord Baltimore and Captain Beyond. So I guess this is that type of music: heavy rock, stoner, psychedelic, space rock as they call it, prog, experimental. And so we'll start with this Captain Beyond. Now, I was just doing a video, I did a video on supergroups, and this is a supergroup comprised of the Mark I Deep Purple singer, Rod Evans, some Iron Butterfly members, the guitar player Larry Reinhardt, and the bassist Lee Dorman, and drummer from Johnny Winter. Now, this came out in '72, and it's I heard this on Spotify. No, it wasn't Spotify. I heard it on Amazon. You know, their streaming service. And you know, once you get, you know, listen to this type of music, and then, you know, they start throwing out other things that are kind of relative. And I don't know how I got it got bounced to Captain Beyond, but I listened to the record and I was just blown away. And the thing about it was just that he's from the Mark I lineup, you know, with Deep Purple. So that's like Shades of Deep Purple, the albums, the Book of Taliesin, you know, and they did songs like, their hit was Hush. And around that, after those albums, Blackmore wanted to do heavier music because he heard Zeppelin's album, and he said, you know, that's the direction to go. And you know, he sought out Ian Gillan, and who screams, and just they wanted to go for a heavy rock, even progressive kind of direction, and they put out In Rock, which was a great album. And it's weird because Rod Evans, you know, ended up in this formed this band, and it's in that same kind of direction. There's a lot of progressive time signatures and that kind of thing, and all the songs kind of blend together. And you know, they put out like a few albums, and they're, you know, they'd have problems with you know, internal problems, of course, but they regroup, break up, regroup, and it didn't really, you know, I never heard of this band until I, you know, started going down the rabbit hole, and finding out, you know, well, this guy was in this band and this guy was in this band. And so I found the original '72 pressing, because it has this kind of hologram kind of thing to it, and this album has been reissued. So sip of coffee real quick. But yeah, this is definitely an album I would recommend that you, even just hearing it first on a streaming service on YouTube, and if you like it, then, you know, go get it. It's one of my favorite finds, you know, after discovering this band. And my next one was Sir Lord Baltimore. Now this came out in 1970, and this is a rock trio, and I'll show you what they look like here. And this was recorded in Electric Ladyland Studios with Eddie Kramer, who's worked with Jimi Hendrix, of course, the Stones, all the big names. And this band came out of Brooklyn, and the lead vocalist, his name is John Garner, and he also plays the drums. And it's kind of crazy because the drumming he's doing on here is pretty wild. And there's, I mentioned Blue Cheer before, and there's always been, like, around this time, these trios, these power trios that played this heavy rock, and which I've been finding, whether it was Atomic Rooster, like I mentioned earlier, or this band, so this was another one. And the guitarist, his name is Louis Damara, I believe, and bassist is Gary Justin. And again, this is something I found, and if you like that kind of music from Sabbath, and you just keep going and discovering all these types of bands, it always seems like, whether it's someone that's at the gateway band, say like The Cure for Gothic music, they're on the gateway, where they're the most popular band doing that genre, and then you keep going deeper into that genre of Gothic rock, you end up hitting Bauhaus, you end up hitting, Christian Death, and that kind of thing. And so Sabbath was one of those bands too, and Zeppelin, and they had this subgenre. You just gotta, take a deep dive and keep going. And this music really hasn't disappeared. It resurfaced in different, decades. Like, it'll come back in bands like Monster Magnet in the 90s, stoner rock like Fu Manchu, and even up to like Sword, or what's that, Orange Goblin, so this kind of music has always still been there. And but finding those early 70s ones is really cool, and just they're like, for me, it's just like, I like hunting around and trying to find these things. Like there's Tear Gas, there's all kinds of bands I've been finding, Iron Claw, and get the vinyl for that. And I'll go into those albums in the future, because I like to share those findings and this type of music and other genres, because it's great to celebrate the popular bands, of course, of this kind of music, but also the ones that we don't hear about, and they put out some really cool shit. And so I just want to just share that, like, my journey with other people, and maybe they could check these bands out themselves. So comment, like, and share this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.